crept down, and within, what, 15 minutes, half an hour, it kept down 2 kilometres an hour on average, the stage. This is the reason why they were saving everything for the run in towards the line, and now they're powering into it. And with 10 kilometres to go, they're still hanging in there.
I really want them to make it. Especially the disappointment when they were told that it's been neutralised. They were like, what? We've worked for this. And they just gave them back 48 seconds. That was it. Right now, it is time for proper delivery. Wow. Well, 10.4 kilometres from home. And still they dig. So who was it from UAE Team Emirates who let us know about
our good Irish friend, Luke Maguire? He's the PR and communications manager. He looks after a certain guy called Pogacar.
Here we are then. 46 days to finish in Napoli, and what a memorable one, no matter how it goes, Brian.
It was one of the most memorable ones was the Thomas de Gent one, the breakaway. That was a savage stage, that was. It was like all day in the heat, and Thomas de Gent, another kind of masterclass. He seems to do it quite often, or he did in the past. So yeah, all good when it comes to this stage. We always have some exciting finishes. Of course, when Mats Pedersen won here, we had a couple riders, Simon Clark, one of them, and we heard from the start, got caught with insight to the finish. So it's always an exciting one.
Certainly is. 23 seconds is the gap now. They've actually pushed it out, Brian. Can you believe that?
Yeah, 23 seconds. They're not going to give up. The thing is, with Peleni and of course Taco van der Hoorn, they're never going to give up. You know, they've put themselves in with a chance. They've had a good bite at this cherry, and they're not going to let go.
"23 seconds. Wow, they're holding. Are they going to make it? This would be absolutely outstanding. I mean, is it worth the candle? And all of a sudden, confidence come through. Milan Fretin is there as well. There's a lot at stake for some of these guys. Here come Bahrain victorious. I'm wondering if Gnarly Gavechka's going to have a go.
Oh, possibly he'll be in there, no doubt about that. But the fact is, we're starting to see some change in the peloton. We're starting to see some other teams come up to the front. Tudor Pro Cycling being one of them. You've mentioned Cofidis as well. They have to keep on riding, and they have to keep on riding hard.
Well, they're keeping on riding, but how hard do you go on a day like this, where surely having no points, no bonuses, Brian, he's going to have a bit of a knockback. But for these guys, this is huge.
It is, and you know, I didn't think for one reason that Taco van der Hoorn was going to give up. This is what he does. This is what he trains for. He had a bad year. I think it was it last year or the year before, with a bit of concussion, ruined his whole season. He came back towards the end of last year. I think he won the race into Brussels, the Brussels Cycling Classic, and he just does it in style. And yet again, every breakaway he gets in, he gives 100%.
They might just make this. Napoli, 20% chance of rain. A bit late for that, but here we are. We've had plenty today. Meanwhile, they spread across the field, and I've got to say that now it's just kind of a free-for-all for a podium spot, for goodness sake. Because 26 seconds, it's gone out. Have they accepted their fate? Is this breakaway going to make it, Brian?
No, I don't think that they're going to give up. They're going to continue to ride, because Visma Leasebike have been riding all day. You do not give up. It's 27 seconds. I know it's kind of pushing out a little bit, but you have to keep on riding. You have to catch these two riders who they can almost touch in the distance, catch them. But what is helping them is some of these corners running in towards the finish.
Well, this could actually get to be something incredibly dramatic. If they're going to get caught, it's going to be very, very late on. They're giving each other a turn here, Brian. They haven't actually started any kind of cat and mousing. They can't afford it. They've basically just got to go absolutely all in right now. But how? And it's extending. It's nearly half a minute, for goodness sake.
Yeah, a lot of teams have been told this is getting too close for comfort now. 29 seconds, 6.4 to go. You have to keep on riding and keep on riding a lot harder than you're doing at the moment. So been pressure, you can hear them on the radio now.
Look at radios everywhere.
You know, they've been told, look, don't mess this one up. We have to catch these two riders and catch them sooner rather than later.
Brian, 2 kilometres ago it was 20 seconds. It's now 28. They're riding this brilliantly. 6Ks to go. It's no done deal. You saw how sketchy it is. Some standing water here as well. This is our lead-in from 3 kilometres. They will pick up just before the 2 marker, just to get to the corner of the kind of castle, becastled, if you will, on the coastline, just before we go indeed to the piazza where we finish today. It's kind of, I think I said earlier, it's like an opened up hexagon that they've got to deal with, but it's 25 seconds at the moment, and suddenly it's gotten very serious once more with this Melissa bike picking it back up. Well, this could be just a drive in. Maybe Coy's just said, look, if I'm not there, it's time to fill your boots and maybe take an advantage. Let's wait and see, shall we? Caden Groves is still here with a full complement, but Visma Lisa bike have actually dissolved as a lead-out train at the moment.
Yeah, Bart Lemon was the rider at the front there, and you know they've been called up. I still don't think they'll stay away. I think that there will be a bunch finished behind, but what a ride they're doing. You know, the longest stage. I know that we've had neutralisation, but they used that to their advantage. I gave them absolutely no chance whatsoever in the middle of the stage.
Well, nobody did.
And now it's getting too close for comfort. You don't want this situation, and it's putting a lot of pressure on the teams at front. And what some of the teams will do was, when they see others riding, they'll sit back. That's not the case. Look at the numbers of Alpecin Deconic here, and they're only committing, is it 1 rider there? They're saving everything for the lead outs. Well, that lead out is nothing if the 2 stay away, so you really have to commit, and they are the team that seem to have most of the numbers.
Sam Bennett's down there at the bottom of your screen, as you can possibly see as well, with a whole phalanx of Decathlon AG Tour La Mondiale riders. Also here, Tudor Pro Cycling. I can only assume that it's Rick Plumas who they're going to be riding for today.
I don't know. I think Zylard is a person there, but Quinton Herman's top rider is just on his last turn and is now freewheeling because his legs are in pain. It's these big efforts. 16 seconds now, 4 kilometres to go. If Bart Lemon does his job now, it will all be up to the team of Alpecin Deconic, and if they want to sprint for the victory, they have to totally commit.
They do. I think it's Milan Fettin who's just getting himself up and into position for confidence with the golden shoulders there. You can see him just over to the right-hand side of the road. This is where we're coming into right now. Busy. There he is. Fettin is now riding it in the centre of the road, I beg your pardon.
He's got the red helmet.
Yeah, he has. He's got the red helmet. It's his teammate Lastro who's supposed to be leading him out, who's also in there. Caden Groves calls for a bit of pace and indeed gets the delivery of that. Here comes Decathlon AG Tour La Mondiale as well. Sam Bennett clearly would like to be very much involved. Box out of it at the moment is Olaf Koy in the Ciclamino, but he's still got time to get himself into position. Van Uden is here, already a stage winner, and it is down to 11 seconds with 3.2 kilometres to go. They're on this nasty little grind, Brian, that carries them up to a little bit of altitude. They get over the top of it, they've got some impetus to bring them home for the finale in 3 kilometres time. Here we go.
And there's still people running about in front of the race. What an idiot.
Protesters.
But yeah, Alpecin Deconic have got
dangerous,
big opportunity, and they're not going to waste it. Taco van der Horn, well, he's gone now. Paleni seemed to be the strongest of the duo off front, but this is what I was saying. You do not want to risk anything. You have to give it absolutely everything for Alpecin Deconic. You want to sprint for the victory. You do not want these two to kind of hang out there and all of a sudden that's shut down now with 2.6 to go.
It is. So it's going to be Bennett versus Coy versus Groves, and it looks like they're all lining up nice and handsomely. Bennett's still got his full lead-out train in front of him. There's a little bit of shenanigans as some riders just ease off. Gets a little bit complicated because of these turns, and here is yet another one with 2.4. So they take this one, they get onto a cobbled section. You can see how sketchy it is, and if this had been a wet surface, it's kind of dried up just a little bit, thank goodness. There's a lot of options to choose on this wide highway approach, Brian.
Yeah, Alpecin Deceuninck have done a good job here. They've actually used up their personnel. They've only got 2 riders in front of Caden Groves. He's the rider third in the grey outfit, now fourth because Decathlon have decided to pick this one up. So the sprinters are here. There's 2 kilometres to go. It seems to be kind of plain sailing the whole way in. It's not a huge peloton that is left now, so there's no real kind of dangers. Cofidis have got their man there in Fretan, also up towards the front. You can see that Tudor Pro Cycling. So they just have to get round these sequence of corners. 1.7 to go, and they should be set for the finish.
Big right-hander. There's another right-hander as you go along this this hexagon that we're dealing with right now. They'll be coming up to it. So left-hand side of the road is the prime real estate. As you take the turn into it, it almost bleeds directly into a left-hander, which will take us down to the Flamme Rouge. So get yourselves set up. In fact, we may well, while the picture staggered there, have just dealt with it. Here is that right-hander right now, and then there's a left-hander comes to introduce us to the Flamme Rouge. That'll be coming up for you right now, and here it is. It's a more gentle curve, if you will. There is a little stagger around a roundabout, but we've already got a flyer here with 900 metres to go. That's a lot of ground to make up for everybody else, Brian.
Yeah, it's Alpecin Deceuninck just going through the couple of corners now, and just letting the wheel go. We've seen this happen in other races to great success, but Wout van Aert, who also done it with Olaf Koy in the Tour of Britain a couple of years ago, is looking to try and do it again. Olaf Koy just let the wheel go.
Koy's gone. He's out of the back, but this is Wout van Aert with his Red Bull helmet now just charging into this, and he may well indeed be in the taking mode. Let's wait and see. Lonardi and Maestri are still very much in the frame here. There's a few others as well that would like to still mix it up. Koy hasn't committed fully just for the time being. Golden Shoulders of Fretin still very much in the frame. Others as well, including, of course, Caden Groves there. He's in about wheel 5 at the moment. He sees Sam Bennett go for it. Groves is tempted as well, and it switches from one side of the road to the other. Moschetti just almost charging into Koy there at the line, and it's going to be Groves by the looks of things. Oh, by a country mile in the end, over a bike length. Had to fight for it, but after nearly 5 hours in the saddle, that was a conundrum today that was unpicked by Alpecin Deceuninck and that man.
Well, they had to ride in the end, bring it back. Caden Groves finally gets his victory. Moschetti was the rider that opened up there for Q36.5 and pretty much blocked. We said about having a clean sprint. Olaf Koy didn't have that clean sprint. He allowed Wout van Aert to go. He thought it was a little bit too early. Let the wheel go, let the others react. Possibly that would have been his mistake. He maybe should have sat on Wout van Aert's wheel and been gifted a free sprint. But it's the stage win for Caden Groves in a very much reduced sprint today, and he'll take victory, and that's all you can take from today.
Caden Groves, well, that tees him up beautifully, and if nothing else, he didn't get any points, he didn't get any time bonuses, but what he did get was a stage win, and there's plenty more sprinting to be had in this race. That will do him the power of good. It
will, but for this man, second time in a row he's not had a clean sprint. Caden Groves had a clean sprint, showed a clean pair of wheels. Here's the two of the day, Taco van der Hoorn and Paleni crossing the line. What could have been, but Caden Groves takes the day, and that will help Alpecin Deceuninck, who came here just for him. This was the situation here. We had an interloper there in the, I think it was Kielich. It was at the front, but Wout van Aert went from distance. I saw him doing this in the Tour of Britain, and he managed to kind of hold it off, but they were coming after him. You can see that. Pull to visit Malta with Moschetti on the wheel for Q36.5, just waiting to open up his sprint. I know that the road's going to the left here, and I'm just looking at Moschetti. He goes barrier sides. Oof. He didn't have any.
Oh, that was a double lean. That's a relegation.
No, it's the barriers went left there. I don't think it is, but look at the distance. Fretan taking second. What was it? Paul Magnier taking third there on the left-hand side. Cantor was up there as well. Zylards, Leonardi. Yeah, good result from Paul Magnier getting third place there, but look at the barriers there. I think Moschetti was going the quickest way towards the line, and unfortunately that kind of left-hand corner, he just blocked out Olive Coy, who wasn't able to sprint.
Govetzka finishes in 10th place. In front of him, Muzzato, and then Moschetti, Malucelli, Zylaud, Lonardi in the top 5, but Caden Groves it was that took it ahead of Milan Fretin, Paul Magnier, Max Cantor, and Lonardi, the best placed of the 4 Italians in the top 10 at the end. Well, we got a finale. Caden Groves came through. Once again, Olaf Koy just hampered ever so slightly as we dwell on some of the spectacular villas here that overlook the ocean. Shall we hear from our winner?